All right. We are. Wait. I got to get your mic. Now you're on. We're on.
Oh, all right. Well,
All
so what
right.
happens is Jason uh, does the intro, and I can't hear it. And then he's got to tell me that we're back. But either way,
Yes.
welcome to another edition of Live Feed Read. I am Paul
Yes.
Reed, your host. We have a special edition. Instead of Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, we have Captain Quint from Jaws sitting in for Ed today. Welcome, Captain. I thought you got eaten by Jaws at the end of the show, but
Hey,
evidently
nah.
he must have regurgitated you, and here you sit. But either way, it's what is this? It's August the 16th, 2024,
Yeah.
Friday, 1 o'clock, and the temperature outside is 88 degrees. Wow, not 96, so that's not bad here
Yeah.
in the Brandon area. So let's get started.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about homeowners insurance claims. Reed and Reed, of course, we do personal injury, which is medical malpractice, car crashes, dog bites, you name it. If
Fun
someone's
stuff.
been injured, we take care of it. But here's what we've found, unfortunately, in the last year.
Yeah.
Um, on March 24th, and I've talked about this of last year, 2023, the boys in Tallahassee, the boys and girls, your government changed the rules. The rules were 130 years in place, and it basically took away you and me, the consumer, of insurance, the right to collect attorney's fees should we have to sue the insurance company and we prevail. It was a horrible thing they did. And you and me, not necessarily me because I'm a lawyer and I can sue them myself, but you out there who aren't lawyers, you get the short end of the stick often because, of course, it costs money to hire us. So
Right.
here's what Ryan and I and Jacquelyn have decided to do is assist and help Floridians who have been victimized by insurance companies, i.e., they submit a claim and for whatever reason they claims denied or it's lowballed or otherwise. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be fair, some claims are paid, and so this is, I'm throwing a big wide net over this, but it happens, and we just
Yeah.
had a hurricane storm blow through here, Debbie, and I got news for you. Those claims are going to be some of them are going to be denied. Some of them are going to be significantly reduced. Some of them are going to be delayed. And so that's what we're going to help people with homeowners claims. So that,
Interesting.
that includes wind damage, fire damage, water damage, lightning strikes, damage related to basically storms and things of that nature.
Hmm.
We're only going to get paid, same thing as our bodily injury. We're only going to get paid if we, are able to settle your claim with the insurance company. Kind of like bodily injury, it is a percentage. It is a much smaller percentage than the 33 and a third and the 40%, which is what the injury claims are. And so we're going to help individuals. So let me
Hmm.
give you a couple of things about this whole process. There are really two types of individuals or professionals that can assist people with the claim. They're
Okay.
called public adjusters. And if you Google public adjuster out there, Jason, there are as many public adjusters as there are lawyers. Okay.
Okay.
And so the public adjuster is just it's an independent individual that has learned the ins and outs of insurance and insurance claims and how to file them and things of that nature. So I don't and assist homeowners in filing them, and they also take a percentage. All right.
Right. Okay. Okay.
The problem or the difference, and then there's lawyers. Those there's public adjusters, and then there's attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the public adjuster is simply this, or I don't want to say the problem, but the difference or the issue
Okay.
is
Yeah.
simply this. They can ask the insurance company to pay a certain amount of money, and the insurance company may or may not. What can the public adjuster do if the insurance companies dig their heels in the dirt and say, we're not paying it?
Well, that was going to be one of my questions to you is like, what do you know? Are there specific licenses? Are there specific powers or things that they're given that they can
No,
do that?
there may be licenses and things of that nature, but at the end of the day, because we only have 20 or 30 minutes on the podcast, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, they can't do anything.
Interesting. Yeah.
And
So
in
like what kind
fact,
of
what they will do is then they will have to refer you, the consumer, the homeowner, to a lawyer.
okay.
Because
Okay.
as a lawyer, I can file suit on your behalf, of course, against the insurance company. So
But
you're
wouldn't you
with the minor league, hold on, with the public adjusters, you're kind of starting in the minor leagues, and then if the minor leaguers can't win the game, so to speak,
yeah.
you got to come play in the big leagues. So why
I can
start in
see
the
that.
minor leagues if the fees are the same, the percentages are the same, and in the big leagues, you get an attorney who
I
can
guess
file suit on your behalf, who, when negotiates with insurance company, they know that Reed and Reed, they know we're attorneys. They
yeah.
know if they don't,
Right. Right.
provide a fair settlement, we can sue them.
Right.
If
Right.
you, Jason, are
Yeah.
the public adjuster and you're presenting a claim on someone's behalf, well, they know you can't do anything. They know that you will have to, okay, well, homeowner,
You have to get a
I
lawyer.
tried, but now I've got to get you to an attorney who
Right.
who I work with.
So let me ask a question then. As a homeowner, I'm looking at this. Why would I hire? Because they have to be paid. I'm assuming they get paid
They
too.
got a percentage.
Why would I pay them and then also pay a lawyer when I could just pay a lawyer?
Yeah.
Does that?
My guess would be if they can't resolve, and I'm not a public adjuster and I've never used a public adjuster. My guess would be if they cannot resolve your claim and you have to be referred to a lawyer, they either don't get paid at all or the lawyer will pay them out of their fees.
So they have I guess they have an incentive then to not get a lawyer involved and maybe settle for something less. Is that?
Well,
Am I reading that wrong?
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but think about that. If, let's just say, the law says that the lawyers cannot split their fees, which you can't, honestly, a lawyer is not allowed to split their fee with a non-lawyer. You brought up a good point, Jason. If I'm not going to get paid, might I have, an
incentive
to settle this for a little less so I can get my percentage? I didn't think of that, but let's just say.
Well, that's how my brain works.
Well, it, unfortunately, that is a possibility that I'm going to accept less on your behalf so I can get paid versus maximizing your recovery by referring it to a lawyer who cannot split his fee or share his fee with a non-lawyer. The bar says that, and I get nothing. Let's move on.
There's so much to consider. Yeah.
That's a valid point. So, but I'm not here to trash public adjusters.
No. And that's not, I think, not Reed and Reed's. We're not making an official statement or anything like that. And I'm not Reed and Reed. I'm just an idiot consumer asking questions. So let's be clear about that.
No. And I got news for you. Honestly, I didn't think of that, but that Jason, that was a good question. I mean, it's unfortunately everybody has family and kids in college, and it's like, well, wait a minute, I can settle this case for $50,000, and maybe it's a $60,000 case, and I can get paid, or I can refer it to an attorney and not get paid. You out there in TV land, so to speak.
Do the math. Right.
Do the math. All right. So, and I'll give you an example of how this works personally. So when I was living over here in Valrico, that's a neighborhood. I was on one side of the street, and Larry, my buddy, was across the street and over one. So like, here's my house.
Right.
Bill
across
was
and
there.
over.
Larry was there.
Okay,
So
got
one
you.
night, it was a heck of a storm, and I thought a bomb went off. So I was like, what's the cat? The cat that hit the roof, jumped up, ran outside into the hallway, thinking, what the heck happened? Well, I expected Leanne, my daughter, who was, in the bedroom over there, to be up as I was, because I'm telling you, Jason, it sounded
loud.
like. So I go in there thinking I gotta hey, well, kind of make sure she's okay and not
Right.
scared. And when she was younger,
Yeah.
oh, she was sleeping like a damn baby. So I didn't even
Nice.
wake her up. The next day,
That,
did you hear that? No.
no.
So I
Oh,
go
yeah.
over to Larry.
Yeah. That'd be
Dude,
me, actually.
lightning hit his house. It
Yeah.
went around what are the fascia, the gutters on the outside.
Okay.
His wife was in the shower, and it blew the window right past her into the master bedroom. This was
Whoa.
huge lightning strike, a direct strike, right?
Whoa.
Also, he had this nice Harley. The electricity blew it up, so to speak. Right? It
No.
didn't blow it up like a
It
bomb,
was on
but
a TENS
his
unit or something and it
electrical
melted it.
system was trashed.
Oh.
So
Oof.
the insurance company um, basically lowballed him and
Oh,
said,
man.
well, the issues with your motorcycle property in the house was not related to this lightning strike. Now, mind you, he rode every Sunday. His bike was in pristine condition, and so
Right.
it was a fight over whether or not
It was
the
included.
the electric bomb that hit his house also, frayed
Friday's
the
Harley.
electrical components of his motorcycle. Well,
Wow.
ultimately, he prevailed, and
Good.
the motorcycle actually it was totaled. So
Wow.
they basically had to total out the bike, but which is
Wow. Yeah.
surprising. All right, so let me
Oh,
just continue with that same
yeah.
lightning strike. So
Okay.
about a week later, I had a pool, and I just, for
Right.
whatever reason, pool was on a timer, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. So I
Okay. Yeah.
happened
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go out there after that, and I heard my pump still running. I'm like, well, and sometimes the electric goes off and the timer gets screwed up, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I open it up,
Yeah.
dude. That lightning strike melted my timer from
What?
across the street to the left. Oh yeah. So
Jeez.
obviously, I had a buddy, Bobby, who came and just put in a new timer. I didn't make a claim with his company, even though I might have. I just
Yeah.
fixed it. But so lightning strikes can cause
Wow.
catastrophic damage that obviously
You don't
some
think about.
insurance companies aren't going to want to pay. So
Wow.
that's my own personal story with lightning and how this plays
Yeah.
out. And so, yeah, again, what we're going to do is honestly not unlike probably most others, but I can't speak for others. Is you get a
Yeah.
free property inspection. That's important.
Okay.
Initial damage, so you get initial damage assessment. Obviously, a free consultation. Free claim review. We get a copy of your insurance policy. What's covered, what's not
Mm-hmm.
covered. Do you have deductibles? What are the exclusions? All of these things, no one knows
Yeah.
until you get in and read the policy. They're all different. I mean, I'm a lawyer and I've had insurance on every home I've ever had. Jason, do you know how many policies I've read?
Probably a million.
No, my own policy.
Oh, of your own policies?
Yeah, I got homeowners. I've had in homes since, I was 30 or 40, whatever.
I would
Let me
assume
help you.
10 or 15.
None.
Oh,
I've never read it.
oh,
I write them
snap.
a check. The policy goes in my little A through Z
I mean,
folder, and
arg.
that's it. I can
Wow.
tell you right now, I don't know what my deductible is on
Yeah.
my policy. I don't know.
But you'd want to find out the moment something happened.
Well, as soon as I have
Yeah.
wind damage, fire
Yeah.
damage, water damage, lightning strike damage,
Yeah.
hurricane related damage, that's when I will find out what is covered. Now, I'm
Interesting.
hoping, like everybody that's watching this, that year after year, I just pay my premium, which is a joke,
And hope they do the right thing.
Here to there, and I never
Yeah.
have to look at my policy
Yeah.
like you. However, if you do, you got two choices. You can and let me back up.
Okay.
On another case, my buddy's house burned to the ground. Let me stop because my brain, I got like ADHD.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm making notes of my questions, so I'll ask them later.
Here's how this works. My buddy's
Yeah.
house burnt to the ground. It was over in Clear Mell, and what happened was, this sucks, Jason. They didn't have what's the
Fire extinguisher?
No,
No.
the thing outside your home.
A hydrant.
They didn't
The
have
fire
a hydrant.
hydrant?
Yeah, so this is on the news. You could probably Google it. They had trucks outside of his home, but they couldn't get water to it. It burnt to the ground.
No.
I'm not sure how this worked, but he did not call a public adjuster. A public adjuster showed up at his house saying, hey, I can help you with your claim, this, that, and the other, right? And this was like Friday.
Better call Saul.
He calls me Saturday, tells me what happened, texts me the photos, tells me he's hired someone, and I said, are you an idiot? And you might say, well, why would you say that, Paul? Why would you call your friend since you were 15 years old an idiot? Right? And I said, your house burnt to the ground. You have homeowners insurance. They're going to pay you the policy limits of whatever it is, because your home is gone. The what do you call it? The contents are gone. I guarantee you, your house and your contents are more than your policy. And so, I think it was, I want to say this one was 10%. Maybe it was reduced, because I'm trying to remember. I think the adjuster might have reduced it. And you know why? You didn't need an adjuster. I said, and he had 3 days to get out. I said, email this and call this number right now. Tell them you're canceling the contract. I said, and he had $300,000. That's it. I'm not saying it won or whatever. That's what he had. I said, they're going to give you $300,000. You're welcome. I just saved you 30 grand. And that's why the public adjuster, more likely not in my mind, reduced it to 10%, because this is like taking candy from a baby.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think as a homeowner, even as you're talking, like, I don't fully understand what's available, and when the crap hits the fan, proverbially, like, what I would do. I would probably call you first, because I don't know ins and outs of this. Right. And I would say, hey, Paul, what do I do? Just so happens you're also a lawyer. That's great. Yeah. I thought you'd do this, but I could see myself getting, I want to be careful what I say. Getting the short end of a stick by not knowing, I guess.
And let me tell you, it is. I mean, first off, even if your house isn't a total loss, your roof's caved in, the tarps, you probably want to cry. In fact, when you see people out in Tornado Alley and their houses are gone, we kind of watch it on TV and say, that sucks. But
it does.
Imagine, and I did have a fire in one of my abodes, and it sucked. We had to live in an apartment complex with the kids, not an apartment, I mean a hotel, because it took a couple of months. But was an issue, and then they had to rebuild it, and it's just a nightmare. So I understand that it's overwhelming. Reed and Reed, we understand it's overwhelming.
Yep.
It can be confusing. It can almost put you into a depression, thinking this is never going to be right again. But it can be, and it will be, and we can here at Reed and Reed help you through that process. I mean, and I thought about that. Sometimes they won't even want to put you up in a motel, and most policies have that as a benefit.
Right.
If you don't know that, I'm going to go live with my mom or my dad, or my sister or my uncle, or I even pay out of pocket, not knowing, or they're going to I got to go to the Roach Motel where they'll leave the light on. No, you have to review that policy and see what you're entitled to. Yeah, and that's important. Yeah. And I've been going 20 minutes, but
So I have a question.
Our slogan is like, Reed and Reed. It's like having a lawyer in the family. And I can tell you, just like we fight for our clients on the bodily injury side, Jason, we're going to fight for the homeowners just as hard.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I
go
can
ahead.
attest to
Question.
that.
Jason and
Um,
I, Jason and I are trying to not talk over one another because you people in TV land, rightfully so, and I didn't think about it, but even on the radio, you can't hear two people talking at the same time. So
yeah.
sometimes we still do it, but we're trying to work on it. Even though this is our third or fourth year doing this podcast, we're finally getting it. But
Yeah.
Jason, you're up.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. As you know, as a homeowner, I guess I have a couple of questions. Like one, would it be beneficial to have a record of the house before something like that happens? And if so, like what would that need to look like to make it so if I come to you with an issue like that, you can help me?
Well, fantastic question, Captain Quint.
Arg.
So, and you know what? The answer, and I am guilty of this, and I think this weekend I'm going to answer your question. Yes, and I'm going to do something about it as well. I am going
Okay.
to take my cell phone and I'm going to walk around each room in my house, and I'm probably going to take pictures of the more expensive things, and I'm
Hmm.
going to take video of each room. And then, Jason, am I going to just keep this on my phone? Oh, no. I'm
Mm-mm.
going to send it to my email because
Okay.
phones disappear, photos disappear. But if it's on your email, it will be there. And maybe you want to email your mom's email
Yeah.
or more than one email. So yes, dude, I don't know. That was one of the issues with Bob's house is, well, do you have receipts?
Yep.
Are you
What did
kidding
it?
me? Dude,
Yeah.
with all due
Oh
respect,
my word.
when Leanne and I moved from 1,000 square foot apartment in downtown Tampa to this place and had to buy everything, I have zero
Hmm.
receipts. No. So
Yeah.
based on Captain Quint's good question, I am
Thanks.
going to take photographs and videos, and I'm going to email from your closet to your shoes to
Hmm.
your washer and dryer to blah 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 blah. So yes, that is
Okay.
100% accurate, correct, and it must be done.
So another question added to that is how often should I update that? Like what would it if I took it and it's like 5 or 10 years later when
Well,
it becomes useful, like is it as useful if
well,
it's
that's
aged
simple.
like that?
Well, by way of example, Captain Quint is a rich man, and he's going to go to a taxidermy, and he's going to pay $10,000 for the shark that he just caught to hang on the wall. If I had the
Yeah.
new shark that he caught, I would take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
and then maybe under the picture, paid $10,000 for Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you
Interesting.
can submit, you can put at least, some people can who know how to do this,
Yeah.
and I would have Leanne do it because I don't, but you can put how much this costs.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The reason I ask is because so Craig Dickinson helped write the laws that became home education law, and one of the things that he foresaw happening is that people might get called to court and asked like, "Oh, are you educating your kids?" So he had them write in that there was they would keep a portfolio and at least for 2 years, so that and that can be as simple as taking pictures of your kids learning and doing things like that. So I just in my mind I was kind of thinking like, well, if it's useful to have that information or a track record. I didn't know if it
100%.
expires 5 years or 2 years or 10 or whatever. So, okay,
No, and in fact, who we kidding? Most people, their
we
houses
don't.
5 years later is about the same. I mean, I
Yeah,
moved into mine in 2020. Um, I'm trying to think.
definitely if you get a new roof.
Maybe I might have bought a suit here
Yeah,
or a suit there or some shoes or clothes, but I
yeah,
don't think I have made any major changes to my TV or to my couch or the pool. No, if you make
yeah.
you do a rebuild of your cabinets or something, well, then yeah, obviously you
Got
would
you.
want to take a picture of that.
Most people
But
do for
yeah,
Instagram.
and that's kind of common sense things. But
Yeah,
yeah, but as long as you have a documentation, the video and pictures of what was in there, in case you have a like Bobby did a full blown burnt to the ground fire,
yeah.
then you're right. That would be good to have.
Last question, and I think it'll be a quick one. But my question is, where does what you do end? So I have a friend who they have been dealing with issues, and I think the insurance company has paid and agreed to pay them for the flood damage that happened to their home, but they have been dealing with the contractor trying to get everything happened, dragged feet, dropped the ball, and they've been almost 2 years out of the home
Well,
that
that
was
and then
damaged.
well, that's a
Like,
different issue as well.
okay, okay,
You and I think you and I have talked about this before. Never, in my opinion, I would never pay a contractor or someone's going to do work on my house until that work is done. And if the company you're going to hire doesn't have enough money to do the job without getting money up front,
yeah,
then hire another company. An
it limits the
example,
playing field, but you make
I
a good
was
point.
just watching again. There's a pool guy around here that screwed about 100 people
Oh,
out of their you can Google, Jason, about
you've told me this.
their pools were, yeah, of about half
Yeah.
done or less. We're talking millions of dollars. Now, granted, they have finally charged him criminally. He may very well go to prison, but you're going to have to pay $50 to $100,000 to
Yeah,
get your pool fixed. So him sitting
still
in
is what it
prison
is.
might it say, well, at least there's some justice in the world. It doesn't help your kids swim in your pool.
Yeah,
So
yeah. What I was watching the.
I
Sorry.
can't, hold on, Dave. I can't
Yeah.
say this enough. If the company you hire cannot do the job without having money up front, hire another company.
Mm-hmm. So Michelangelo says, "Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza."
All right. So
It's not as
but
good.
you're right. That happens
Yeah.
where you get the
Yeah.
money, you pay from the insurance, you give it to the contractor, and they're gone.
Yeah, man. Wow. Well, you've given me a lot to think about for sure. So I appreciate that. And obviously, I know that your tagline is it's like having a lawyer and family, but I can attest to that you guys tend to bend over backwards to try to do the right thing for people. And I appreciate seeing you guys kind of take a new service area on to try to be helpful when there's a very real problem that you see happening. So my hat's off to you.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
And it is sad. And I was talking to an insurance adjuster today, and I'm they're nice people. They're
Sure.
some of them, a lot of them are frustrated as we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, I said if people drove their cars properly and
Yeah.
didn't speed, weren't on their phones, if people kept
Yeah.
their dogs on leashes, if hospitals and
In a
doctors,
perfect world.
slowed down and took their time. I said, if
Mm-hmm.
nursing homes, flipped over patients and I said, and the list
Yep.
goes on and on and on, I wouldn't have a job.
That's right.
I said,
Yeah.
so, but that's in a perfect world. I said, but
Not the
that's
world.
not how people drive. That's not how
Mhm.
people treat or treat not treat their dogs, but leash their dogs or so on and on and on. And unfortunately,
Mhm.
because of it, or fortunately for me, I have a job and it allows me to honestly make a lot of money, but also help people.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I like helping people because my background. I
Yeah.
grew up 2 miles, 3 miles from where I'm
Yep.
sitting right here. Single mom, no dad.
I've watched you take the hits for people to do the right
and to
thing.
be able to be blessed by God to be sitting here and have
Mhm.
this podcast
Yeah.
and have what I have. That's
Yeah.
I have
Well-
to help people.
Well,
Just that
kudos to you.
I,
I have
uh,
to
I
say.
got to get into heaven, ladies and gentlemen, because what I like to say is there's the red side of my book, the black side of my book,
Try to balance the ledger.
black of helping people, then there's red. So we're working hard to get somebody
Well-
over here erased.
Yeah, I appreciate. Listen, it's not lost on me. I know that most people watching may not know the back ends of things, but I've watched you lose time and again to do what you think is good for someone else, and I appreciate it. You'll always kind of be I'll be a fanboy, is what I guess I'm saying. But and I'm glad to see you guys taking on a new service area to do that in, because I think a lot of people are going to be enriched by that. So I don't have anything else for today. Do you?
Captain Quint, I think you should go out there and throw a line in the water and or something. And have a nice weekend. It's August the 16th. Goodness gracious, a couple of more weeks. It'll start to cool off at night at least, and be a little cooler in the morning. I can't wait. But take us out.
You got it.
Everybody get to church on Sunday or Saturday if that's it's your celebration day, so to speak.
Yep.
And, God willing, we will see you next Friday.
You got it.
Reed and Reed, it's like having a lawyer in the family.